All right, everybody, welcome back to the Unshaken Truth Podcast. I'm so excited for this episode and this series. This series is called Fresh Faith, and I'm going to bring on a lot of new people that have come to Christ in the past few months and just over the past year, and people that are new to Christ but have found life and found the true truth of Jesus. So I'm here with my close friend Ethan. Ethan, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me, Pearson.
Hey, of course. And so before we get into all this, if you don't know what a testimony is really like how you came to Christ and how we talk about it in the Christian world of like, share your testimony, share this. But really like a testimony is where you were before Christ and how Jesus changed your life, how you encountered Jesus, and then who you are now. And so I think that's really impactful. So how are you doing today, bro?
I'm doing well. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Ethan. I just graduated from Wiley High School, and I'm going to be headed up to OU in the fall.
Hey, Boomer Sooner. No. Boomer Sooner. Sweet. That's awesome, man. I'm excited. I'm excited for OU. How are you feeling about OU?
Man, it's a mix of everything because it's like your senior year, you go through your last, and then now this transition into freshman year. It's the start of the firsts. So
yeah.
Definitely excited to meet new people, get a fresh start.
Yeah. That is crazy going from like just your last, you're saying goodbye, and then you're like whole entire new atmosphere.
Yeah. How do you feel about your?
I mean, I am going into my senior year, and I mean, I'm definitely looking forward to it. I'm just kind of weird. I'm just like another year.
Yeah.
Like it's just I'm just gonna do do this one more last time, I guess. So I mean, I'll just start us off getting to know you, Ethan. Like, Ethan, where are you from? And like,
I am from Wiley, Texas. Grew up here all my life. Never moved, thankfully. So been here all my life.
Nice. And like, since you've been growing up here in Wiley, like, what was your childhood like? What do you remember from your childhood?
Childhood, it was definitely a lot different than what people growing up from like now. Me and my sister, I have a twin sister.
Mm-hmm.
We played outside a lot. We liked to play with each other, kept each other entertained. Grew up in a really good household. Bickered a lot with her, but that's
for sure.
always gonna happen.
Like all do. We always have siblings, and like if you have siblings, you're always gonna fight with them.
Yeah, definitely stayed away from the electronics for a good amount of my life, I would say.
That's solid.
But yeah,
that's really good. Now, the other question is like going a little bit more spiritual. Did you grow up going to church?
Yeah, so actually I was raised Catholic.
Okay,
so
cool.
My whole family is Catholic. Grew up in the Catholic Church. Got all my sacraments done. I was baptized as a baby. And
were you ever confirmed?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
so
cool.
Got all that done completely, and then it wasn't until COVID hit, 2020. Me and my family kind of just stopped going to church after that.
Really?
But yeah.
Cool. And then what made your family like become Catholic? Do you know? Like, was it just like, has it always been just tradition, like your mom or your dad?
Yeah, both sides of my family, they were both Catholic. Grew up Catholic.
Cool.
So yeah.
Cool. Nice. And so going on to like, so we established like you grew up Catholic.
Mm-hmm.
And then like what truly led you to Jesus? Like what was your understanding of Jesus whenever you grew up like Catholic? And then I guess like walk me through the point of where you really found true Jesus.
Oh yeah, for sure. So I would say growing up I never had a true relationship with Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
I went to Sunday school, so it's just like teach you everything in the Catholic faith and all that, but I never really had a true understanding. Kind of took it as more of a chore to be there and didn't get much out of it. A bunch of the kids they're all around our age, so I mean it would go by like grade level. So and then you're always planning to, it basically just felt like school all over again, just with a hint of faith, I guess you would put it. But yeah, no, I remembered I always tried to like try to participate, get as much as I could from it, but I never really knew what a true relationship with Jesus looked like.
That's powerful. Now, like, walk me through kind of like the specific moment that you gave your life to Christ.
Yeah. So it was actually October 4th. 2023. Still remember the date. But yeah, so I actually, after me and my family stopped going to church, I mean, just backtracking a little bit.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I
Backtrack with me.
always looked for validation in the world. Always try to be quote unquote the good person, but it always felt like I was missing a void, a piece of my life, that unconditional love.
Mm-hmm.
So I was always searching for that in rather relationships, family, friends, just anything like that. So I was always searching for something, but nothing could fill that void. And then it wasn't after my family stopped going to church. I was talking to this one girl,
Yeah.
and boy, did she break my heart, man.
Oof.
It was a rough one.
And when was this? What grade was this in?
So we've always been pretty close. So we always we're pretty close with each other, but that final straw was my junior year, 2023.
Okay.
That's where I really found Christ. Obviously when like I said, I was looking for love in all the wrong places.
Yeah.
And after that, it was like a flip, man. I knew I was looking in the wrong places and I was searching for where real love is. Opened up my Bible for the very first time, what felt like years. Started in Genesis 1:1. And after one day of that, I completely forgot all about it again. And then it wasn't until my junior year we have this thing called FCS. So I've been going to that
Yeah, tell us a little about that.
yeah, FCS, it's Fellowship Christian Students. It's at Wiley High School. Thankfully, I got to be a leader this past year, but I've been going since my freshman year. Before I even came to Christ, I was there for the food, the pizza.
Yeah.
Just all my friends went.
The
So I was
pizza
like,
just drew you in.
oh yeah, oh yeah.
It'll do it to you. That what was it? Little Caesars. Little Caesars,
Man,
what drew you in, bro?
everything.
Everything.
They got everywhere, but no, yeah. So I wouldn't really I would listen to messages, have not really feel a spiritual feeling, but I always knew who God was and like kind of what his love was like, but I didn't really know until um, I asked my friend Jenna if I could go to a midweek with her because I knew that she was a active member here at Gateway, and I just wanted to have that that church setting again in my life.
Mm-hmm.
So after I went there for the first time, man, I just loved it here. Just Colin just being so inviting, Hannah from the little things of just memorizing my name, just felt like I was being seen by someone again. So
That's powerful.
that would really drew me into keep coming back to Gateway. And then and then September hit, and then Colin was preaching a message, and then it was just I just felt so moved. And I'm never the type to get out of my comfort zone, do anything like that, but the second he was like, if you've never given your life to Christ and you felt like he's moving today, I raised my hand up, not with no regret in my mind, the best decision I ever made, raising my hand up, giving my life to Christ to Colin. Man, it was an emotional night, but it was the best night of my life.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm glad how you segue that in, because I kind of written down my notes coming to Christ and then later on going before Christ, but definitely probably should have been before Christ. But I definitely that is definitely so cool how I think it's so cool how to you asked hey, can I come? And definitely FCS, I think that's a big part of your testimony too.
Oh yeah. Sure.
Of how that he the Lord used that ministry to impact you. Man, and going back to before Christ, what were some major struggles that you struggled with and Jesus kind of pulled you out of?
I would say searching for, like I said, searching for love in all the wrong places.
Yeah.
I always wanted to feel like I was being seen.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was in the wrong friend groups, man. I was finding love in all the wrong places, trying to fill that feeling with the world.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't until coming to Christ where I know that love is unconditional. It has no terms, no nothing. It's given to you and it's a free gift.
Yeah. That's so powerful. And I think we all search for that love, and we all search for that hole in our heart, that God-sized hole in our heart that we all need to, that only God can fill. So I think it's so powerful that God, like I said, used the ministry of FCS to come come here.
Yeah, I will say, growing up, I always felt like I never understood what my purpose in life was.
Really?
So I grew up playing sports. I was big on basketball, and I thought that was my purpose in life.
Mm.
But it wasn't until coming to Christ where I know that I'm supposed to be called to live for Him.
Yeah. Yeah, when did you have that shift of like, man, like I'm not only built to play basketball, like there's more.
I would say, well, basketball is all I really know. All
Yeah.
my life growing up, that's what I did since I was in kindergarten all the way up until my junior year. That's whenever I tore the good
Tore
ACL.
tore
But
the ACL.
that's besides the point. Yeah. No, I just feel like basketball could be a very life sport. You learn a lot of lessons there in basketball, but yeah, no, it was just like if I put my all into basketball, that's not what I was called to do. That's not the godly life that I was supposed to live. It's all
Mm.
the world advice. Yes, you get lessons from it, but no.
Mm.
Coming to Christ, that's where I really figured out that I was called to live for Him.
That's awesome. Now, you kind of like talked about it before, but like how like have you definitely had some like aha moments or like definitely like seeing how the Lord has changed you and in what way has Jesus changed you like
Yeah.
right now?
I would say I mean, just the big picture. He changed my whole life. Now coming to Christ, I put the lens of Jesus through my eyes instead of the world's eyes.
Mm-hmm.
I know my validation comes from Him, not this world.
Yeah.
So the more I put Him through the lens of my life, the more my will lines up with His.
Yeah. And what have been some like difficult things you've had to like transition from following Jesus compared to like living in like not following Jesus? Like what's been like one of like probably the most or one of the most difficult things you've had to I guess change or put to death,
Yeah.
I guess you could say.
I would say my old sin struggles.
Yeah.
Man, just I had bad mouth on me.
Mm-hmm.
Always like turn to people versus turning to God in
Yeah.
situations of difficulties. Anything I was facing, like any trials that came my way, I would always question why are these things happening to me? I felt like I was a good person. I deserve more. Me. But in reality, it was all Him. He's the one that's working in my life. That He's the one that's putting me through these trials to test my faith. And obviously, I failed before coming to Him. I didn't see the big picture at all. But it's just been a whole mental switch, I would say.
Sure.
Yeah, just putting Him through the lens of my life.
Yeah. No, that's definitely powerful. Now what's been like a good difference? What's been something positive that has been like even like, oh my gosh, this is like absolutely life changing. Like Jesus is life changing. Jesus changes lives. But what's been like I guess an everyday practical life change?
I would say the people that I'm around,
Really?
the friendships that I've made. Obviously, first coming to Christ, I had a good group of faithful people. I would say in the church. I had you. I had all the seniors that graduated last
Mm-hmm.
year. But I feel like first coming to my faith, I would rely more on other people than I did on myself.
Mm-hmm.
I would see how God, like for example, I would see how God works in Pearson. So I would want to have that in my life. But it wasn't until like the seniors left where I really felt like this is where I needed to have the switch. I can't rely on somebody else's faith on mine.
Mm. Yeah. No, I think that's powerful because I think like a lot of our testimonies, especially like growing up or like not growing up, but going to youth here at Gateway Students, I think it could be definitely somewhat difficult because we do lose a lot of like good leaders every single grade, every single senior class. And I think it's sometimes difficult to reflect and be like, oh man, that's actually me now.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, shout out to Everett Vasquez if you listen to this, love you, bro. But he was definitely a big mentor to me in my like 7th and 8th grade year. I mean, he's off in college and doing college things, but I think looking up to people, and then like that was the biggest thing for me was like, okay, there's actually like people that actually want to be here.
Yeah.
There's actually people that like actually want to be with Jesus.
And I will say, me being coming into the church as a junior, And then after the seniors leaving, I just felt like I was called to be the next one up.
Yeah.
I should be the one living my faith and be an example to those under me. And I
Yeah.
felt like I hope I did a good job. I really do. But
Yeah.
it was just that calling. It's that real like switch in your life where you can't rely on anybody else.
Yeah.
That's basically all it comes down to it, and it's a testing of your own personal faith.
Yeah. Now, I want to like shift into like your personal walk with Jesus and like your relationship with him, because I feel like coming from a Catholic background, did you have like growing up, what did you know about Jesus, or what did you think about him?
All I knew about Jesus, honestly, is that he's the Son of God, and I didn't know what it looked like to have a relationship with him.
Mhm.
I didn't know what it looked like to talk with him. We, for in the Catholic faith, when you pray like it's like a set prayer already.
Mhm.
It's not like the back and forth conversation that you can have an intimate relationship with him. So we say like if we let's just say you sinned, whatever, to make up your sins, the priest will tell you do 5 Hail Marys, 5 Our Fathers, but it's like that's not the thing that gets your sins wiped away. Jesus, the blood of Christ was really what wiped your sins, and that's where I feel like that's where I really truly understood what it felt like to have a relationship with Jesus, is having that intimate moment, having those conversations with him versus having a set prayer.
Wow. That's definitely powerful, and like that is so cool. Um Now what does it look like every single day like right now and with your relationship with Christ?
Right now, well, I will say that trying to have your own relationship, it really shows how much time you really put into it versus relying on somebody else's faith to do that. So I have not been doing the best about making time for Jesus. He should be the ones that revolve around our schedule, not our schedule revolving around him. You know?
Yeah.
So I feel like I that's one thing I struggle with is making time. But no, just seeing the difference between not making any time at all versus the little time that I can have. It's like any moment, any second that you can have intimacy with God is better than nothing. He
Yeah.
wants to hear from you. He's there with open arms no matter how far you run. And it's just a refreshing feeling knowing that I can always come to him.
Yeah. And has there been any like struggles that you faced? Like was it hard for your parents to now see you not choosing the Catholic faith?
Yeah. So, originally they're just thinking, oh, this is just another thing that he's
Just
probably
another
gonna,
phase.
yeah, that he's just going through. But no, try having sit down conversations with them, trying to explain how my faith is definitely the most important thing in my life, and just they've been they have their up and downs about being supportive about it, and it's definitely different. Um, but I think the best thing that I can do personally is just show the same love that I've encountered to them, same way that he encountered to me that very night that I gave my life to him.
Wow. That's so cool. That's so powerful. Now, like we talked about in the beginning of the podcast, like you're going to OU and you're going to, off better things. Like what are like college is scary. And
It
like
is.
I mean, I haven't been there, but like what are you going to do to surround yourself to better yourself in a like foundational root of Jesus?
No, yeah, for sure. I think having that fresh start, it's up to you to generally see who you want to be around.
Mm.
It's up to you to see what kind of faith you want to pursue. So for me, I'm rushing. So I'm gonna join a fraternity
Okay.
this fall. So they have this one frat house. It's called Bucks. It's Brothers Under Christ.
Okay.
And there I whenever I had my orientation, I got to talk to the president. Man, it was a great conversation. Talked a little bit about my testimony, like just why I want to surround myself around those people, and they just seem like really good guys to be around. And I just think God will put you in the right places. Maybe he won't call me to that specific one, but I'm still the light that he shines within me, and I can bring that to other people no matter where I end up.
Yeah, and that's powerful. And I'm definitely proud of you as your brother in Christ to see you like choosing this next step and choosing, not just to have the regular, just college life,
Yeah.
but actually choosing to be part of a fraternity that actually will lift you up spiritually. So, man, thank you for being on this podcast.
Of course, man. Thank you for having
And
me.
like before we close out, like what would you have to say to someone who's like searching for God or lost or in this situation that you were, and like maybe they're listening to this and they are like in the Catholic faith, and what would you say to them?
Yeah, no, piece of advice I definitely would give is that no matter how far that you run from God, He's coming right there even faster. He's there with open arms. He's ready for you anytime you're ready for Him. Anytime you want to experience God, He's gonna be there for you. Draw near to Him, and He'll draw near to you.
That's powerful. And then one last thing, what's your like favorite Bible verse?
Man, my favorite Bible verse is James 1:12. It says, "Blessed is the man that stands steadfast under trials, for when he has stood those tests, he'll receive the crown of life that God promises to those who love him." That's my favorite verse because trials are always going to hit you, but God has promises, and if there's one thing that I know is that our God keeps his promises.
That's powerful, dude.
That he'll stay there near to you, that it's the testing of your faith, and that you'll only come out even stronger the way that you came in.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, thank you guys for listening to this episode. Thank you, Ethan, for coming on.
Of course, man.
And be on the lookout for more episodes from the Fresh Faith series. I'm so excited for all the other, new believers, and maybe old believers. We'll have some people that'll come on here that might be old and have some awesome testimonies. But thank you guys for listening. Thank you, Ethan, again for coming
Of course,
on
man.
here.
Thank you.
And God bless.